Ready to roll, ready to roll, ready to roll, ready to roll. Oh, wait, I got confused. What's up, fellas? It's time for Wake Up Mintzy, presented by Stella Blue and Dude Wipes. Another cold Thursday morning here in Chicago, but at least it's getting a little better. It's not -5 anymore. Coming to you not live from the Barstool Chicago office. I'm in good spirits, and I'm always in a great spirit because we got the man, the myth, the legend. He's always ready to roll. We're ready to turn this energy up. It's time. Nobody's more excited about being alive than Stu Feiner. Good morning, Stu. How are we doing?
Ben, I so missed you. I so love you. God bless you. You look fabulous and sexy in red. Love that hat you're wearing. And we're ready to roll, ready to roll, ready to roll. It's one of the coldest days I ever remember. On a January, on a Thursday, 2025, it's about 7 degrees. When I walk my dog, my hands freeze, my lips get chapped, but I just feel God's spirit in my heart, in my soul. I just want to say to all Wake Up Mintzy fans, happy and healthy holiday to you. Happy 2025. I'm a little late. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. May God be with you. And again, the normal MO I do is your job in life, first of all, is to love yourself. That has to be number one. You cannot love anyone in the world. You can't love your dog, can't love your friends, can't love your family if you don't love yourself. So you want to love yourself. You want to hug it out with yourself. Second of all, you want to put positivity in your life, okay? There's so many Debbie Downers, naysayers, people that want to see you fail, people that are jealous, people don't know how to give love. So they're going to take shots at you. So when you think you could trust people, you really can't. You know who you could trust? You could trust yourself and you could trust God. And Ben, you know who I trust? I trust you.
I trust Stu Feiner, too. Message of hope. I got to say, Stu, January 23rd may be the latest Happy New Year I've ever heard. That may be...
I haven't been on in like 8 weeks, so I'm normally January 7th is where I cut it off, but I haven't seen the Wake Up Mintzy crowd. You know what I mean? I wasn't able to say it. I am late. I'm embarrassingly late. You would think I'm still smoking pot, which I haven't since December 13th, but I'm not. I'm squeaky clean. No marijuana, no sugar at all, and I'm on my food plan right now. I'm on limited carbs. Ben, I want to be honest with you. I want to be honest with the Wake Up Mintzy crowd. I was going to go 0 carbs, and I made a decision. I looked myself in the mirror, and I had my razor. Before I shaved, I was going to slit my throat, bleed out, and die because I can't imagine living without carbs. So what I'm going to do is go limited carbs, and that is a decision I made with myself, and I hope that everybody's okay with that.
No, I think so. I think it's all moderation. I obviously Stu and I on each other's ass in the good way, but we both fight. I obviously we look not similar, but we have a lot of similar personality stuff, and we both will just like yank the carbs and then fall off, and then yank it and fall off. It's a cycle, and I respect the limited carbs decision. How are you feeling? The no marijuana's got you feeling good?
Yeah, well, the marijuana, to be honest with you, and the no sugar. When I say no sugar, because people come at me, hey, these veggies you're eating have sugar. The breading certain times on my food has sugar. I mean no cakes, cookies, candies, ice cream. So that's what I mean by no sugar. I'm not eating any snacky, sugary stuff. The marijuana was very easy to put down, but I've had incredible, wild dreams every night. At least 2 or 3 different dreams per night. And I'm always in precarious situations that are very stressful, and I'm shaking myself to wake up, and I finally wake up, and I'm grateful that I woke up because it's just like crazy. And they say that's going to happen with no marijuana for a couple of months because I was a big marijuana user. I love marijuana. I was on Megan Making Munchies. I dressed up as Santa Claus. I'm sure everybody saw that episode. And I got really stoned. And I was really stoned September, October, November. And I think it was detrimental to my weight. I got up to the 200 Mendoza line. And for me, I've shared this with you. At 200, I'm really not functional anymore. You know, my Mendoza line up until 50 years old was 260. I can still function great, but anytime I hit 260, I had to go down. But now that I'm 63, going to be 64 on January 31st, I'm like a lobotomy. I'm always tired, always lethargic. Instead of drinking my normal 5, 6 cups of Stella Blue a day, I got to go like 12. I wake up in the morning, got to go till 3 before anybody talks to me. Now I space it out. I've had only 5 this morning. I'm feeling fabulous. I'm not jittery, and that's basically where I'm at. But these dreams, Ben, are really scary. Like when you're in a dream and you're in a bad spot, like this morning's dream was a bus was coming at me. I was crossing. I don't know where I was, why I was where I was. I was in Times Square, and I was crossing over the street to see the play Wicked, and I was alone. And all of a sudden, my feet did not move, and I see a bus coming at me. And it was coming, and I couldn't move. Like, my feet would not move. And literally, I'm screaming, and the screaming didn't wake me up. And then, like, I'm shaking my feet. So I went down in a catcher's position, and I jumped up, and I woke up. And I was sweating. It was like, so it's that type of situation where my life's on the line or an emotional situation's on the line. That's how serious it is. So I'm hoping these dreams go away. I'll be honest with you, I don't like to go to sleep. I don't want to go to sleep. I'm going to sleep maybe about 2:30 a.m. and I'm up at like 6 a.m. So that's really where we're at, because I don't look forward to going to sleep because I don't like those scary dreams. They're like, it feels so real. The emotions are so real. So that's where I'm at.
That is wild. I've had some vivid ones before too, but man, if you're having them all the time, that's damn. The details of that were wild. Are you? So I know obviously it's 7 degrees, so you're probably not out jogging or walking. Are you just trying to use your gym and exercise it out, or how are we doing on that?
I haven't started the exercise. This probably is the longest stretch of my life with no exercise. I mean, I'm going on, when I say no exercise, maybe I'll exercise for 2 days and then, I'll binge and stop. This is going on almost 2 years. 2 years of really no real exercise to speak of. Now, I caught a couple of months, maybe I was walking, but I made a commitment that I'm going to start exercising. I have to go to Runner's Edge, buy 2 new pairs of sneakers, one to hang out with every day. Well, now I'm in snow boots, muck boots. Matter of fact, muck boots are amazing.
Oh, amazing! And, great Barstool sponsor too.
Right, exactly, and that's where I got the muck boots from. And then I'm going to wear another one just for exercise, and I'm going to start walking immediately. I'm going to do my once the snow is off the ground, Ben, I'm going to do a 3.9 in the morning, a 3.9 at night. And then I'm going to do a 5.4 in the morning, 5.4 at night. And then with 5-pound weights, I'm going to do the Steve Mahalik workout, which is high reps, intensity, and then to get your blood flowing and to get your confidence going and to get your strength up. And it happens almost overnight. Like within a week, I'm back to rocking and rolling by the grace of God, and similar to your body. We're anomalies. We're forces of nature.
Yeah, it's all in our guts.
Right. Stomach, exactly. And even more so for me, I have no ass, I have no legs. My face is not really obese. It's not like chubby Stu.
No, yeah, your chin's not too bad.
I mean, I have a couple of chins here, but not horrible. But it's all in my stomach. So my body responds really well. I'm a superhuman athlete, similar to yourself. When we put our mind to it, there's really nothing we can't do athletically. And, that's really where we're at. So my exercise is 0 right now, but I'm going to step it up. And be honest with you, you are a power example. You're the person I look like because we're brothers from another mother. We don't actually look like, but we are exactly identical, the same, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. We think the same. And we know that we can binge because we know how to come back. Failure after failure, you and me, we do not lose our enthusiasm, which I think the thing that people love about us is that they know when we crash and burn, we rise. And that's the true success of a human. When failure after failure, you do not lose your enthusiasm. So I watch your exercise, even at a weight that's not optimum for you, you burn. I mean, you do things, most people can never, ever, ever run 3 miles like you do it in a heartbeat. 5 miles. You've run 10Ks. You've run half marathons. You've done things that people just simply can't do. You simply cannot do. So, and you have a great basketball shot. I saw your basketball shot. I was like, this guy can ball. He really can. God forbid he ever gets down to optimum weight. You know, I think you're going to dunk on Brandon Walker's ass. You think you could ever dunk?
No, I can't jump very good. I got the white men can't jump thing, but I mean I can run. Exactly. And I gotta say, shout out to our friend Jinx. Jinx is getting the Barstool Fitness thing going. Obviously, we've seen what he's done with Frank, who's now walked for like almost 500 days in a row. But he's been working with me a lot lately, and he's kind of got me on a program, and it's helping me. I mean, it's only 3 weeks into the year, but I mean, I'm running like crazy, and I'm lifting, and doing good. So I feel very hopeful about it. I've got it back up to where I ran a 10K last week and I ran 5 miles this week, but I'm trying to lift a few days too. Jinx is on my ass because he thinks my brain is so messed up, which is true. But he's like, all I want you to do is run 2 miles and then lift. And I'm like, I don't catch a runner's high till like 2 or 3 miles in. So I just like, F it at that point and go 5. But I'm feeling good. We got shout out Planet Fitness too. We have a new state-of-the-art gym in the Barstool office. And so I'm working out there. And man, I got to say, I feel pretty damn good 3 weeks in. It's good. I mean, I like everyone, the end of fall is always tough, like Thanksgiving and holidays and stuff. So I gained a few, but I think I'm getting it off, and I'm feeling hopeful, as you said. So
yes, perfect. And Matthew does a fabulous job. He always watches what he eats. And he has almost the perfect body, and he works extremely hard. And you see the things he do. What he considers a beginner's workout really is an advanced workout, to be honest with you. Certain things he does, no one's ever going to be able to do on their best day. I mean, the guy has like 7% body fat, and I don't actually think he's a human. I'll be honest with you. I think he's a robot.
Yeah.
I think if you tore his hair off and you saw his face, it would be like a cyborg. Because one of his best friends, that's a billionaire that's going to take over the world in California, builds actual robots that are going to take over the world. And they have a multi-billion-dollar company. And I think that Maddie's a robot. He's not a real person. So I just want to share that gut level out there. So if a lot of people are looking at Maddie and going, I can never be as perfect as him. I could never have this body as him. I could never have 6% body fat. He doesn't either. He's a fucking robot. So I want to share that gut level out there.
Yeah, he is. But I got to say, man, obviously we all know what he's been able to help Frank do. And Frank's story has inspired so many people. And, I know he's working with Shay and me. And I don't know. It's just great having the accountability. Shout out Jinx. I mean, he's really helping me. And it's going well so far. But you know how it is, Stu, though. When you and me are the same. We're motivated, we crush. It's the sustaining it over 6 months a year, because we'll have like good months, and then bad, and then the cycle.
Exactly. Well, the key to Maddie's success and what you have, he is a power example. He does it every day.
Yeah,
it's not
Frank. Frank walks every day.
Right. It's not once in a while. And Maddie really instilled into Frankie that, listen. And as we know, Frank's food is never perfect. He like, if you saw what Frank ate, you would be like, how the fuck aren't you 500 pounds? Because he eats a lot. You know what I mean? He eats a lot of weirdo things. He's not no sugar, no carbs, green vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be, like he tasted hummus once, and I think you saw that clip where he almost threw up. He almost died. So he can't really eat a lot. So in other words, how Maddie's been able to help Frank is really behind closed doors. I said, Frank, if you're not going to eat squeaky clean, because as you and me know, if you and me ate squeaky clean 15 to 1,800 calories a day, we don't ever need to exercise. We really don't. We don't ever need to exercise. That's the bottom line. We use exercise a lot of times because we overeat where we think we're eating clean, but we're actually not. We're almost like at a 3,000 calorie pace, 2,500 calorie pace. So we need the exercise, first of all, to burn the endorphins, to have them come, to feel better about yourself, to have the confidence, have the energy, but because we overeat. I mean, that's the bottom line. As we know, you eat 15 to 1,800 calories a day, you never need to exercise. But with Frank, what Maddie identified very quickly is this guy doesn't eat clean. He really doesn't. So we need to make him walk. And he instilled upon Frank that, listen, there are no days off. You could sleep.
No, he's
when
out
you're
there in
dead.
Frank's out there in negative 5 degrees
every
walking.
day. And then the first 3 months, Frank was like, I don't know if I could do this. And now Frank is even more committed than Jenks. You know, if the world's burning, if Frank was in California and with these wildfires, you would see Frank walking along the edge of the wildfires while they're burning. You know, that's how committed he is. And he's become a living legend. He's become her power of example. So Maddie and Frank together are just a great, great pair.
No doubt, no doubt. And I love seeing the response. Frank Walks is blowing up. It's huge. And, you know, Frank, man, I got to say, he's looking good. You know, he's going to be under 300 soon. I mean, that's an incredible accomplishment. He was 500 pounds a few years ago. So, good shit from him.
Listen, when I met him, when he walked through my door, you know, I have like that English tutor, and you've been to my house, that circular door. He came in, he filled the whole fucking door. Like he came in almost walking sideways. Like he was enormous. He looked like, you know, 3 hobbits squished together. You know, it was crazy. You know, it was like, and when we used to go to Met games, I mean, we would look at his legs and they would be pure red, and you were like, this guy is going to die any fucking second. But the wild thing about Frank is he's an inhuman, exceptional athlete, because even at 500 fucking pounds, when he couldn't afford the good tickets, he would walk all over Citi Field, up and down the stairs, up and down, like, there's no way you're going to be able to make this, Frank. And he did. So he has an incredible heart and really a desire that if he wants to do it, even at 530 pounds, he could fucking do it. So you could see his face. His face is whittling away almost to nothing. Like his face really looks good on a sideway where he looks his face. And now he's in double XLs for the first time ever. And I think so listen, Frank's a great guy. You love seeing his success. You know what I mean? Like certain people you hate and you tolerate their success. Like, you know, you bite your tongue. You know, certain people are scumbags, lowlifes, pieces of shit, backstabbers, and you don't give a fuck how successful they are. Frank's not like that. Maddie's not like that. Both of them salt of the earth, loving humans. So you just want them to excel. You know, similar people, you know, we have our Debbie Downers. We have people that are against us, but 90% of our buzz online is love. It's love. They love us. So they love when we fail because they know we're going to pick ourselves up and succeed. And, you know, that's the human nature of life.
Hell yeah. Well, also we're missing, I know, a great year of advisors. Another great year. We're missing you. Not the same, not having you around the office this week, but I know we're down to 2 games. I'm excited to touch on this for a minute, talking about the conference championship games. You had a clip about you're going to mow a lawn with your face if Washington beat Detroit last week. I didn't see that coming either. Moody, shout out my producer. He was on Washington money line. I didn't see it coming. But, man,
shout out Moody. I love you.
Yeah. So Jaden Daniels, first rookie quarterback ever to make the Super Bowl if he wins one more game. Stu, you've obviously been watching football, your whole life. I've never seen a rookie quarterback do this. This is the best rookie season in NFL history. Even Peyton Manning came in the NFL. He threw 28 picks his rookie year. And, this team was 4-13 last year, and they don't even really have that, psycho talented of a roster. And freaking 1 game away from the Super Bowl? It's a freaking crazy story.
I be honest with you, throw the rookie thing out the window. I have never seen a quarterback in my life, the best ever, which I still consider Joe Montana and John Elway. Those are my 2 best quarterbacks ever, okay? You know, better than everybody. Better than, Tom Brady, the whole Peyton Manning. Forget that. 2 best quarterbacks ever are Joe Montana, no 2 ways about it, and John Elway. No one sits in the pocket like he does, and he waits until the last second to make the perfect throw almost every time. And I watched what he learned at, he's from LSU, correct?
Yeah. He won the Heisman last year.
Right. So now at LSU, someone taught him to wear those vision glasses that you could play Madden and everything on.
Yeah, the simulation.
You know what I'm talking about? Right. So what he did is he plays that game at an accelerated speed. So I think it's 1.5 to 2 times actually faster then you and me would play that game. So he plays it for hours with the glasses on. So what he's able to do is he's conditioned himself that he said it, which was mind blowing. I don't know why everyone hasn't done this, because I mean, it's the proof is in the pudding. When the actual game comes at you, because I remember when I played football at a very young age, when I first started, I could never make weight as a peewee because I've been an enormous bull since 7th grade. So I couldn't make weight 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. The first time I could play football, organized football, was on my 9th grade football team. And everything came at me so fast. Like, it was so fast. I was middle linebacker and I was running back. And everything came at me so fast. It took me a couple of games to get my sea legs under my belt. When he plays the game, because he plays at 1.5 to 2 times speed, everything's very slow. So he's super calm. He's super collected. He's a God-fearing man. He always thanks God for everything in his life. And you could even see him on the sidelines when he's hanging out. It's almost like, like he looks like he's in church. He's just sitting there calm. He's great looking. He has a beautiful smile on his face, and he can just absorb everything. And it seems like everything has slowed down for him. And if you watch any of the great quarterbacks talk, the talking heads now that are on all the TV shows, they talk about the key to being a great quarterback. And they say it takes 3 to 5 years is how fast everything comes at you and how quick you have to make decisions to read defenses. Are they trying to trick you? Is there a blitz? Is the blitz going to, back off and then you're not ready for it? It seems that he has it so under control. I forget about rookie. I have never seen anyone do what he's doing ever. I'm talking ever. And now, the talk around the world now with the talking heads on all the sports shows is they're putting him as the 5th best quarterback in the NFL right now, number 5. And that's mind-blowing. That's unbelievable. Yeah. More so, if the Giants did not beat the Colts 2 years ago, they would either had him or Drake May. So it's even more frustrating now because Giants have no quarterback. God, if Jaden Daniels was in New York doing what he's doing, I mean, he would own the town. He would literally own the fucking town. So I'm so impressed with him. So impressed. And to be honest with you, I was a little blinded by the Commanders' success because I had Tampa Bay over the Commanders, and that was right there. I really believe.
Yeah, I mean that was an either or game. Tampa, the rookie center snapped that ball early.
Right. I mean, without that fumble, Commanders are golfing right now. They're home. Jaden Daniels would have been a great story, rookie of the year, but he wouldn't ascend to this. And with the Lions, obviously, my heart is with the Detroit Lions because my son's best friend, Tom Kennedy, you could see the gloves there. That's my son's all Long Island, all Metro jersey. Tom Kennedy and Ryan played on the same team. They won Nassau County Championship. Matter of fact, back-to-back years. They lost in the Long Island Championship. So I know Tom Kennedy super well. He's one of the Detroit Lions receivers. Tom's brother, Glenn, is best friends with my youngest son, John. So I was so locked in, the Lions are going to the championship game. I had the Lions playing the Eagles. And there was no way in God's name I could ever think, really, of the Commanders winning that game. And to be honest with you, the Lions came in with 15 injuries to starters on defense. And then they had 2 key injuries to a safety and a quarterback during the game. So if I was not so subjective on the game and locked in, objectively, yeah, that could happen. And then you add to it, 5 turnovers, just like, why did Lamar lose to Buffalo? 3 turnovers. You cannot turn over the ball in the playoffs. Maybe 1 turnover could cost you the game. So, it was a perfect storm, be honest with you, for Washington. 5 turnovers, and their defense was just injury plagued.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a game. It was really men against boys. That was not a fluke. The Commanders and the Bucks was straight up, I'd say, even. And the Commanders caught the break.
Yeah, that was one of those NFL games that are coin flips that can go either way at the end.
Caught the break, won the game, and again, Jaden Daniels played a perfect game. And in this game against Detroit, he played a perfect game again. So I committed that if Detroit lost, I would have someone hold me by my feet and I would mow someone's lawn with my face. And we've came to a decision and a conclusion on that. The last week in September, the Ryder Cup is at Bethpage Black. And you've been to my house and you know that from my front lawn, you could, as long as you could drive the ball 350 yards, which you can't, I can't, but there are people that can, you could put a ball onto the yellow course, not the black, but the yellow. So, and I'm best friends with everybody running the Ryder Cup, the director of the PGA, the director of the Ryder Cup, and all the people that are functionally involved with making the Ryder Cup happen. They're my friends. I've already given them Barstool merch that Barstool was so gracious to give me, and I'm best friends with them. So once a week I go over there, hang with them. So what we're going to do is the last week in September, on the Monday that they don't play, the practice rounds are going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the event where you have 12 golfers from the United States playing 12 golfers from Europe. It's only 24 players in the event. On that Monday, I'm going to try to get Scotty Scheffler and maybe Meredith there to film it, to hold me by my feet, and I'm going to mow the lawn of the first tee at Bethpage Black. But if Scotty will not do it, I'm pretty sure I can get Meredith to film it because they're my two best buddies. Somebody's going to hold me by my feet, and I'm going to mow the first green at Bethpage last week in September on that Monday with my face. And I'm psyched to do it. I'm going to eat the grass. I'm not going to swallow it, obviously, but I'm going to chomp it like I'm a goat. I'm going to be like...
You're going to be like going like Les Miles style on it.
Right. Just eating I'm going to eat the grass, and then I'm going to spit, eat, spit, eat, spit. And I'm going to do it for as long as I can. Like, I'm going to do it for as long as I can. I'm going to do it like a punishment. Whatever it is, I own up to it. I have a big... And I put my foot in my mouth, but I always come through, and that's basically the bottom line.
Yeah, following up on the Detroit thing, I feel terrible for their fans, too. They hadn't won an NFL title since 1957, and then they just instantly lose both their coordinators. Everybody in Chicago is celebrating like crazy with Ben Johnson going to the Bears. Aaron Glenn headed your way. The Lions defensive coordinator is now the new New York Jets coach, got a 5-year deal. I don't know, man. I mean, they were up 24-7 in NFC Championship at half last year in San Francisco, blew that. You have I know they had all the injuries on D, but you go 15-2. You finally get home field and you lose like that. I mean, my heart goes out to Lions fans. I mean, that's just.
It's heartbreaking. They may never get back there again. I mean, the Bears are going to be so much better next year. The Vikings are not going anywhere, so it's a very tough division. And as we know, past success is not predicated on future success. That might have been their one shot, as great as Dan Campbell is. But if they bring back their entire defense and if they're healthy, they are equal with Philadelphia as the best team in the NFC. But to get there is another story. You have to have no injuries. Maybe Jared Goff doesn't have that perfect season, and he's throwing 3 to 5 picks per game. So you just never know. So it is heartbreaking for Detroit because you know how tough it is to get your team there. As a Saints fan yourself, you know how long it took you, even with Sean Payton, with Drew Brees. You had one shot. And you had to onside kick coming out of the first half to win that game. Peyton Manning was right there with you. So you know how hard it is to win the Super Bowl. As a Giant fan and a Jet fan, I've seen 4 Super Bowls. As a Jet fan, I've never seen it. But Giants, I've seen it. They were there 4 times. So in other words, and won, 4 out of the 5. I saw them get annihilated by the Ravens too. But it's so tough to get there. And, the city of Detroit, I mean, their heart it's not broken. They're going to be in a coma maybe ever. You never come back from something like this because, annihilating Minnesota in the second half. That first half was very dicey and very tough. And thank God Sam Darnold played back to the Sam Darnold level because he could have put the Lions away in the first half.
Yeah,
he could have
definitely
put them away and easily could have been 21-3. Didn't hit Jefferson, didn't hit the other receivers, turned over the ball also. They may never get back there. So it is heartbreaking. Yes.
Yeah, my thing with them is Ben Johnson's such a unique play caller. I don't know how you replace him, but they're gone. Other NFL stuff to touch on. Did you that Chiefs-Texans game? A lot of backlash on the calls on every time somebody sneezes on Mahomes. It's called the flag. I mean, he's obviously just flopping, playing the game. I don't blame him, but I don't know. Gosh, I wish I know that the NFL, they're all about the safety stuff, but it's like gotten to where, I mean, if you breathe on these quarterbacks.
Let me just say something. I've seen a lot worse calls. I mean, I've seen a lot worse calls. Now, were the calls suspect? Yes. Could the calls have not gone Patty's way? Absolutely. But I've seen a lot worse calls. Neither of those calls were the reason that the Chiefs won. Neither of those calls. I mean, the Chiefs made the plays when they had to.
As they always do.
He's the number one player in the NFL, as we know. I mean, he's the number one player. He's the number one draw. He's the number one player. He's going for a three-peat at an extremely young age. Extremely young age. I mean, he has a chance. If he plays to 40, he could really surpass Tom Brady. He could win more than 7 Super Bowls. I mean, there's no two ways about it. I think that they protect him. But they've protected players their entire life. Now, if you see in the early years of Tom Brady, I mean, he took hits that are inhuman. Like, people think Tom Brady's just a pretty boy. That's not true. He took hits that would have put people in hospitals. He got up off unbelievable hits, incredible hits, similar to when Joe Montana was the greatest quarterback that ever lived, and I believe still is. He took unbelievable hits. Patty Mahomes does not get lined up. No. And similar to now, he baits players to get the personal fouls. Well, it's done every year in the NBA up until they put a rule in for people to stop it, like the LeBron flop type thing. But that's part of the nuance. That's part of the game. You might hate it. You might hate that he does it, but it's still part of the game. Until they change the rule, he's still going to do it. So I think there's a lot of uproar. It's a lot of hoopla, but it's over nothing. This is not a fluke team that's using tricks to win it all. This is a team that for the first time ever is going for a three-peat. And speaking of three-peating, I'm going for the three-peat on the Mortal Lock record on Barstool Sports.
Oh, wow.
Me and Big Cat tied to end the year. I'm really like 2 percentage points better than him. I think I'm 62.3 and he's 61. Okay, so this week we're going to have a mortal lock-off. We have to pick a mortal, and then whoever wins the championship. Last year I was 9-2. Nothing to brag about, but it was even. And then everybody in the show was way under 500. And then the year before, I just destroyed the competition. 15 wins, 4 losses, 2 ties. It went down as the greatest season any sports gambling handicapper has ever had in front of the world on a Wednesday morning at 9:00 to pick a best bet for Sunday. You don't even know who's playing. You have no records. You have nothing. Throwing a fucking dart. I was 15-4-2. It was the only sports gambling record that put Billy Walters in his grave. Like, Billy Walters is considered the greatest sports gambler ever up until 2022, where I took the crown. I took the reign. Doesn't matter who you are, what you work for, you're on your knees when I walk into the room because I had the greatest season ever. I made people, I think the record was $96 million worldwide. Can't prove it, but I just said it, and that's what I'm going with.
That sounds like a great number. 96 million sounds like a damn good number.
Hank, sorry to interrupt you. Hank called me a couple of days ago and said, Stu, what do you think about how we're going to handle this mortal lock? I'm like, whatever it is. I suggested fly me to Chicago, and during the stream on Sunday, we do it live. We battle it out. Maybe me and Big Cat thumb wrestle, then we arm wrestle, then we literally wrestle, hug it out, then we slap fight. I've slapped him up. Not going to wrestle him because he knows how to wrestle. He knows Muay Thai, and he knows those choke moves because he choked me out. But as far as me, slap fighting him, I bitch slap him all over the floor. He did choke me out, so I'm not going to let him get close to me. I'm just going to, from a distance, come in, smack him, hit him with the right, left, hit him with a hook, and smack up his face. It's going to be red and puffy. And then when he tries to choke me out, I'm going to knee him in his face and probably break his nose. But for some reason, Hank has not got back to me. I don't know if Big Cat's had so much emotional stress this year, doesn't want to deal with me because on an emotional level, I could put him in a blender. You know what I'm saying? I could just be like, no challenge for me, but I'm waiting. And I think he's scared. I think he's very scared and he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't want to lose. How many L's can he take on his head? How many losses can one man take? Tough year for him. really tough year. And, like
I feel like it happens to everybody,
Yes, no, well, listen, I'm his general. I told him, I called him on the phone. I said, specifically a couple of people, do you want me to send people to there, blow up their car with them in it, smack the shit out of them, kick them in their teeth, turn them over onto a curb and smash their face or all their teeth are broken? Been there, done that. I'll do whatever I got to do. Tell me. And he said, no, Stu. I'll take it, just like you said. Everyone gets called out because at the end of the day, we're only kidding you. He's the classiest guy to ever live.
No doubt.
He's got the biggest heart. He's always got my back. He's going to sign me to my first Barstool contract where I get a checkie every week from Barstool. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. We lost a lot of major people. You lose Caleb. You lose Glennie. You lose Will. You lose Taylor. I mean, Barstool goes on forever, namely because Big Cat and Dave have unlimited money, so it doesn't even matter. They generate money. Big Cat and Dave generate enough money to carry the company themselves. All the other money everybody else makes, and I guess we have to put Spit and Chicklets in there because the key main people that drive the money are Spit and Chicklets and Dave and Big Cat. Those are the three things, with pardon my take. Those three entities generate enough money to pay everyone's salary to carry the bills. Now, you won't make money, but you won't lose money. So it isn't like Dave needs to reload. I mean, got John Gruden. Amazing pick.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't pay that guy enough. John's in the catbird seat. He could ask for more money right now, and they'd have to give it to him because he actually is one of the few people in the world that could fill the hole losing Will and Taylor. Specifically Will, because he was on a lot of other shows. Taylor did his own thing, but Busted with the Boys brought in multi-millions of dollars for Barstool. But John Gruden's got to be the greatest pickup ever. And, Dave can do this. He can pull shit out of his head. He's one of the greatest operators you've ever seen in your life. There's no pressure on Dave Portnoy. He just does it. On a fucking meme coin, makes a $500,000, then $1 million, then puts it on the Buffalo Bills. Now he can make $5.5 million if the Bills win the Super Bowl. It's just, the man is an anomaly. Whatever he does turns to gold. When you come at him to attack him, he reverses it and ruins the other person's life. You've never seen anything like this. So I'm waiting for Hank to get back to me to see how we're going to battle it. And I'm looking to put Big Cat in his fucking grave. You know what I mean? End it all. Bye-bye. So long. See ya. Let's go.
The Gruden thing, I'll say this too. Man, it's cool to see how much he's embraced Barstool. Like, he loves it. It's so fun just having him around. And, often when you get like a famous guy, coach, player, whatever, they're doing it and it's like a fun job for them, but they're, it's not like their big thing. And dude, Gruden's all in. He's unreal. I mean, he's the best.
Well, if you remember when he was, first of all, when he was a coach and Super Bowl winning coach, and when he was on the sidelines, he was very performative. He was very emotional. He bit his lip. He made his face go red. And that was the Chucky that, people really emulated him and compared him to. Also, when he was on ESPN, he was the best ever. I mean, the only person I could say as good as him is maybe Pat McAfee. They both are just unbelievable. They're in a class and a level by themselves because they have a unique take on everything. They're brilliant. Both have photographic memories. And John has so much meat on the bone. I mean, how could you get a Super Bowl winning quarterback? I mean, a head coach that if the NFL allowed him, he'd be a head coach of a team right now. He was as good as there is. And do we have time here for me to talk? I have a 2000.
Yeah, we're chilling.
Okay. So, Aria, you got to relax. You got to take it easy, little girl. In 2003, it was the 2003 season. Go, Aria, go under here. 2003 season, I think it was the 2004 Super Bowl. When Tampa destroyed Oakland, when Tampa destroyed the Raiders. I forgot if they were LA or Oakland at the time. I think it was 48-21. I think Rich Gannon threw 5 interceptions. I think they ran 3 back for touchdowns. I was probably at the lowest point in my life in 2003. 1997, I had an exact number is about $19 million cash in the bank. I had 220 full and part-time people work for me. We had the ascension of 95 writing 12 million, 96 writing 14 million, 97 my best year ever, 16 million, 8 million live with my 800 service and 8 million or 900 numbers. I had the number one 900 number in the world, 900-860-3210.
Still
and
remember
that was
it.
the
Nice.
$25 number. It was the biggest number in the world. I wrote like $4 million. I had 18 other salesmen that worked for me selling on a 900 number. They combined was 4 million. So that's how I wrote 8 million. 1998, I pretty much retired. I was like 37 years old. Me and Sandy traveled the world, blowing, we spent like a couple $1 million that first year. 1999, CBS Sportsline opens their website up on the internet. And we were going to these internet conventions, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. And these enormous companies, because I was number one in the world as far as sports gambling handicapping. I owned 200 score phones in 200 different cities. We were getting 50 million calls a year on a 6-minute recorded message. And I inundated it with ads. Sports.com at the time was the number one offshore sports book in the world. And then sportsbook.com, the second biggest in the world. I put them as the biggest and then second biggest in the world because they were paying me $1 million and $1.3 million respectively to have the first 30 seconds of my 6-minute recorded message where we gave scores, odds, lines, injury, weather reports. Okay, so 1999, I went from 16 million to 8 million to 4 million. By the time 2003 came around, I could not afford water. I had to get water bottles and put water in it when my kids played sports. I was balls broke. I was in foreclosure. I wasn't paying my mortgage. I had no hope and no vision. And I remember as plain as day, the Raiders were the public favorite in that game. Tampa Bay, I think, Oakland traded to Tampa Bay John Gruden. He had a contract.
Yeah.
He was traded.
2 first-round picks, yeah.
Right. He was traded. So there was a lot of pomp and circumstance, and Rich Gannon was having an inhuman year, incredible year. And no one actually believed in Tampa Bay, and they didn't believe in John Gruden. They thought he was a throwaway. So the public was so on the Raiders, big. And I just put my life, put my hope into John Gruden. And I believed in John Gruden. I loved John Gruden. And I said, I'm going to give out the Bucks and the over in the Super Bowl. And we gave it to over 1,000 people. 1,000 people. And I just want to be as gut level. If I did not win that game, I literally probably would have lost my house, lost my wife, lost my standing in the community, and put a gun in my mouth and blew my brains out. So oddly enough, John Gruden actually saved my life. Saved my life.
John Gruden saves Stu Feiner's life.
I just cannot wait until I see him. I don't want to cry because I don't think he goes for criers because I see how he shreds the people when he's doing the live stream. He's not a crier, but I'm so emotional when I look him in the eye and I tell him that story and I hug it out with him that you saved my fucking life. I'm choking up now because it's true. It's not one of these performative, holy shit, Stu Feiner stories. And let me take it even a step further. The FBI comes to my house a week before that Super Bowl. And they knock on the door and they say, can you come outside? And they put me in their car and they grill me about certain things. And this went on for literally an hour. And, I don't kiss and tell when it actually counts. I don't give a fuck. You put a gun in my mouth, I'm not talking. You know what I'm saying? What I know is going to die with me. So they're asking me really in-depth, serious questions, about serious people, about certain things that I got involved with, and it was very emotional. And all I kept going back to is, guys, I can't help you, but I would tell you to bet Tampa Bay over the Raiders. And these guys were like, they couldn't break me, and it really fucking bothered them. To the point they said, well, we're going to let you go back in your house. I want you to call your lawyer, and I want you to meet us at the diner because we're not stopping. We're going to come here every day until you tell us what I think you know. And thank God, obviously, I called my lawyer. My lawyer said, just ignore them. There's nothing they can do. They called me back like 4 hours later. They said, we're coming to your house. They're going to pick you up. We want to talk to you again. They came back to my house. Uncle Sandy's like, what's going on here? I'm like, just, honey, don't worry about it. And then thank God the situation went away. But again, all I kept saying to them is Tampa Bay is going to kill Oakland.
Well, maybe
they love the Raiders.
Maybe they took the Bucks and were like, all right, we got.
I don't know. They hated me. The disdain in these people. They hated me. Because they wanted to crack me, and I was, I just kept going. I shut my mouth. What they were saying to me was, I didn't even know what the hell they were talking about, so to speak, and I just kept falling back to, what I do know is the Tampa Bay Bucks are going to murder the Raiders, and they did. So, it's a great John Gruden story. It's a great experience, and I just so can't wait to hug it out with him.
While we got you, I want to ask, do you have any other favorite, like, old school Super Bowl or playoff memory gambling stories? I remember you told some fun ones from the 80s. Do you have any other favorite memories other than Raiders Bucks?
Well, I mean, 1993 was 94 season was the most money I ever made. I had I bet 100,000 Cowboys, 100,000 over, 100,000 parlay when on my birthday at the Rose Bowl they murdered the Buffalo Bills. They played them back to back. The first time they murdered them, the second time they covered in Atlanta, Georgia, but it was very, very dicey because Jim Kelly was coming down the line. But that was like a 400, almost $500,000 win for me. When that would be equivalent to winning about $10 million right now because it was 1993.
Inflation.
And we stayed at the Ritz-Carlton. And our room was on the concierge level, the best room in the Ritz-Carlton because we knew the chef. That was the head chef. If you know the head chef at any hotel, it's like knowing Donald Trump. I got 20 Donald Trump stories, but I told him before. I'm not going to tell that right this second because we don't have time. But so right next to my room is O.J. Simpson and Paula Barbiere, his girlfriend at the time. And on the concierge level, they had this thing where they had free food and free liquor. And it was the first and only time I met O.J. Simpson. And he was absolutely blitzed, wasted. Like Paula Barbiere is holding him up. And when I shook his hand was like this big. I shook his hand and his hand kept like, if he had to actually squeeze my hand, it would have been up to my elbow. So hanging out with OJ, wasted. I must have asked him 20 questions. He looked me in the eye and didn't answer any of them because he couldn't talk. Like he was that wasted. So that was a good gambling story. And I won like 500,000. One of the few times that I really scored out. So that's a good gambling story with meat on the bones.
Hell yeah. It's a great story. I remember those Cowboys-Bills Super Bowl. I remember the Michael Jackson the halftime. I always remember that from the Rose Bowl. That was one of the most memorable.
Unbelievable. Probably the greatest halftime show ever.
Hell yeah. Well, so what you got on tap for this year? Obviously, we're all sad you're not going to be around Chicago for a little bit, but still, the thing with Stu, it doesn't end with football season. College basketball, NBA, MLB, I mean, the train rolls on.
Right. I mean, my biggest season and probably my best sport is basketball because it's a 7-month sport and we have anywhere between 18 to 100 games per day to choose from. And the way I do it is I get the single best bet on the card and I normally push 4 medium games behind it, and it's StuFeiner.com. The world always pays me. We have thousands of customers during basketball season, and I grind it out and I make a living and I make money for people. I mean, the only way I get paid is I win. And why do I make $1 million a year, 7 digits every year for the last decade? Is because I win. That's the only reason, no matter the hype and the circumstance, no matter the losing streaks you see me go through, overall, I win. And I win like a fucking monster. And at StuFeiner.com, you can get the best information money can buy. So, yeah, every night is very busy. So every night for me is the Super Bowl. You never know where that customer comes to me because I have the biggest gamblers in the world that trust me with their money. And I have people that bet $1 million a game, in my opinion. And they've done it for not 4 years, but 40 years. So, you never know. Like, for example, tonight, I might sign up a guy that bets 50 to 100,000 a game. That I win the game for him, and then, he pays me $500,000 for the season. You never know. So every night could be the Super Bowl for me. It's not just the Super Bowl. And then I'm also hoping I'm going to be 64 years old, January 31st. PFT is going to be 40. Big Cat on January 30th is going to be 40. And also it's Riggs' birthday, I think, on January 30th, too. I'm hoping that Big Cat and PFT fly me out to Chicago to hang with them. Now, it's not going to be a big deal. But I would like to hang with them for my birthday. So you might see me sooner than later, and you might see me as soon as this Sunday.
Hell yeah. Well, we hope to see you this Sunday. Do you think, last thing, obviously I know you wait and give out, you can only say so much because you give out your picks before and you wait to analyze it. Do you think this Bills Chiefs? What you think? Any early thoughts?
Well, both games right now, I could tell you, they're betting the over in both games like it's fixed. They're betting the over in both games like it's going to be hundreds of points scored. Everybody and their mother is on the Commanders plus the 6.5. Everybody and their mothers. The Sharps got it at 4.5. Then they pushed it to 5. They pushed it to 6. Now it's up to 6.5. So I can tell you right now, the public money and everybody's money and the public sentiment is all over the Commanders. They bought into Jaden Daniels as being God, best quarterback ever, best rookie ever, having the best season, poised in the pocket, and getting like the mindset of the public right now is that if the Commanders don't win, they will at least be able to cover. Now, the other game, the flip game, it's the first time that I've seen, like last year, be honest with you, all 3 games the Chiefs won on the road on their ascension to the Super Bowl. Did they win the first game at home and then
they beat Miami at home and then they won at Buffalo and at Baltimore.
Right. Every game, including the Super Bowl, they bet against the Chiefs. Every game. The money was on Miami, and then it was on whoever they played after that.
Bills, Ravens.
Bills, and Ravens, whatever. This year, they're betting the Buffalo Bills right now for everything they own. It is Bills Mafia, Bills Public. Everybody's on Buffalo. Obviously, Big Cat's on Buffalo. Obviously, I gave out Buffalo 8 weeks ago. It was the only game I think I've given Dave Portnoy in 5 years. I texted him, I think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl, plus 500 at the time. Then it went to plus 650, which I gave it out again. Then Dave won a Bitcoin or a meme coin.
Meme coin, the Trump thing.
If the Bills win the Super Bowl, he nets $5.5 million. The public is all over the Buffalo Bills. I hate it. I hate that. Because I
just don't know how people can want to bet against Mahomes at this point. I think it's like a fatigue thing that people are just so sick of the Chiefs they want them to lose. Maybe
it was interesting because that Ravens line last week, I used the Bills in that game over the Ravens.
I had the Bills,
but that Ravens line was telling you the Bills could not win that game, and they did. I mean, how are the Bills a home dog? How are the Bills a home dog? But they covered. Now, they barely covered, if Andrews catches that ball, then we go to overtime, and who knows what happens. And again, if Lamar does not, he had a brilliant game, but he turned over the ball a couple of times. So, he lost the game. In this game again, the Chiefs are extremely, extremely small. It's 1.5 right now. I'm seeing anywhere between, you could buy the game between Chiefs -1 to Chiefs -2. There is so much money on Buffalo. It's scaring the fuck out of me. I wish I didn't have these future bets to win the Super Bowl because the money to me dictates the game, not the players playing in the game. And that's one for me for 45 years. Now, can it lose any day, week, month? Yeah, of course.
But long run it wins. Short run, you never know.
It will never lose. Short term, absolutely. There was a couple of things that FanDuel lost $370 million. This is DraftKings' worst year ever. Bet 365.
Yeah, the public's just been slight. The public's been the favorites have been covering all year. They've been winning. Covering.
You just be a chalk better. Look at the newspaper, bet the better team against the worst team, and not only do you win the game, you cover. That normally doesn't happen. This year it is. So with the Buffalo Kansas City game, I'm extremely scared. I'm going to wait until the last possible moment because I got to hit both games and both over-unders. And normally in championship, I do. I'm money. I'm absolute fucking money. And I'll be money this year. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go 4-0. But there's so much money on the Bills, it's scaring the fuck out of me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just can't go. There's just no way I can go against Mahomes. I know the Bills have beaten them in the regular. They've played 8 times the last few years, and the Bills have beaten them 3 times the regular season, but they're 0-3 in the playoffs. I still just got to see it to believe it, even though I do believe in Josh Allen. It's just to tell the king gets knocked off. You just got to see it. It is what it is.
Yes. Well, it's going to be 2 of the greatest games ever.
Yeah. The second, I like that. Yeah, and then the stream's going to be incredible with PFT and Max for Commanders, Eagles, and it's going to be electric. We can hope you end up being here for the stream. We'd certainly love to see you. Stu, just thank you so much for giving us an hour of your time this morning. No better person to wake up with in the spirit of Wake Up Mintzy to get fired up. I love you too, Stu. You're the best.
Thanks for having me.
Feeling hopeful, feeling energetic. It's going to be a great 2025. Hell yeah.
Hopeful, grateful, positive, blessed to all you viewers out there. Remember, guys, be great. Take no shit from no one. You're never overmatched. All your dreams could come true. Hard work. In your teens, in your 20s, you could be incompetent. You could be drunks. You could be drug addicts. Piss away all your money. Once you become 30 years old, 30 to 40, you work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, establish your brand, do what you love, save all your money. You live a fabulous life from 40 to 60, and then your body breaks down after 60 and you shoot yourself in the head and die. So your time frame is squished. You don't want to live to 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. That's bullshit. People who tell you that have to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes, that their body breaks down. Forget about that. This is your plan. Teens to 20s, party, do everything possible. Kilos, drink responsibly, gamble responsibly. 30 to 40, you work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You make all your money. You live like Stu Feiner. You live like Dave Portnoy. You live like Elon Musk. You live like Donald Trump from 40 to 60 and then off yourself. And that's the plan for success. Ready to roll, ready to roll, ready to roll.
Love Stu. Thank you so much. Words of wisdom from Stu Feiner. Shout out Moody. Thanks to Dude Wipes. Find them at Amazon, Target, Walmart, all over the World Wide Web. One use of Dude Wipes will change your life. Pounding some Stella Blue coffee. Let's have a great weekend. Can't wait for the conference championships. And I hope to see you here in the next couple days, Stu.
God bless you, Ben.
Love Stu Feiner. Favorite ever. Just so blessed to have this relationship. Just feeling very grateful. Shout out Moody. Y'all have a great day. And join us for the streams this weekend, as always. Still rolling. And we're going to miss you, Will and Taylor. Fuck yeah.